Hey, this is my review of Spider-Man. Sorry, The Amazing Spider-Man. Um, my basic thoughts on the movie is I loved it. I had a few cons with the movie. Um, I'll cut right to the cons. My three cons being two minor and one major. The first minor one is that I felt like somewhere in the movie that Ben Parker should have said, "With great power comes great responsibility." That is my opinion. I felt like that line needed to be in the movie, and that may be because I love that line. I think it's a great line, and that should be in the movie. That's my opinion, though. And then my other minor problem was the CG. I felt at times was kind of lacking compared to like Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3 from Sam Raimi. I felt like the CG in the movie was pretty good. But this, what I'm saying, is kind of, I guess, a small spoiler. I'm not going to spoil too much. But if you consider this, just if you don't want to hear something that may spoil the movie for you, don't watch anymore or skip a little ahead. I'm not going to address it too long. There's a certain scene in the movie with some mice, and I found that particular scene kind of cheesy, and I felt like they overdid it, and they could have just been a lot more subtle about it. My third problem with the movie. Hold on, let me go back to the second one really quickly. I did like the CG a lot at times. Like with Lizard, I felt like they did an amazing job on Lizard. You could tell there was kind of work put into him, and like at times with his arms when he'd grab Peter Parker or Spider-Man, it would actually look like prosthetics or like a glove or something. So I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. And if it is, I'm glad that he went that way because it looks really good nevertheless. And my biggest complaint being, which is a spoiler, so you may want to leave the video because I am going to address this for a bit. In the movie, when Uncle Ben dies, which I mean, I would hope we all know that happens. Peter, of course, he's upset, and he goes after the killer, but the killer has a star on his wrist. So when Peter's looking for the guy, he finds a bunch of guys that look similar to him, and every time he checks them, they all have a star on his wrist. And then at a certain point in the movie, he just abandons this. I guess they get distracted when Lizard starts kind of terrorizing the city, but they never go back to this in the movie, and he never finds the killer. And I don't mind him not finding the killer, but it bothers me that they just don't address it. Like they just kind of forget about it because it was a really vital point in the movie. That's kind of like the main, I guess I don't say plot. It's kind of like it's a central part in the movie when Peter's looking for his uncle's killer. It takes up a good portion of the movie, and then they just kind of let it go. And that bothered me. I feel like that's the only problem I really had with the movie. And maybe others could agree with me on it. The pros of the movie, though, were I had a lot. I loved the casting. I was kind of skeptical about the movie at first. I didn't want to judge. I didn't want to say anything about it before I saw it because I was a little skeptical of how Lizard looked from what I saw on pictures and toys and stuff like that. But I was going to judge that when I went to see the movie, and I actually really love Lizard. I didn't think I was going to like him that much. I was just going to see open-minded and see what I thought of him, and I loved him. I like the actor they had for him. I don't know his name, but I felt like he did a really good portrayal of the Lizard. I also liked, and again, I'm not the world's biggest Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man, but I'm not the hugest fan. And from what I know, in like the '90s show, which I love, and cartoons, Lizard, whenever Kirk Connors turned to Lizard, I never saw him do anything of really intelligence. He always seemed kind of like a brute, in my opinion. I never saw him do anything besides destroy stuff. Then again, I could be wrong. But in this movie, Lizard showed a sense of intelligence, which I really liked, and he had a plan for what he's going to do to the city, and I just found that incredibly interesting that they gave him a character. They kind of just gave him personality, is what I'm saying. And I like that he wasn't just a brute destroying the city. And I should have expected more out of them. I don't know why I went in with that mindset that they were just going to make Lizard some kind of brute. But I had that mindset, and Don't know why. And I loved Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I kind of thought I was gonna like him more than Tobey Parker. Tobey Parker. Yeah, that's it. Tobey Maguire. I didn't like Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man trilogy. I don't like him much as an actor, but I did like him as Peter Parker. He grew on me, and I could really see like the pain, like whenever Ben Parker was mentioned. Like he did a really good job at portraying like his like how hurt he was by like Ben Parker's death, and I like that. And that's the one thing I felt like Andrew Garfield was kind of lacking. I didn't feel like he was as pained by his uncle's death as Tobey Maguire was, but. Besides that, I thought Andrew Garfield was a really, really good Spider-Man. And I also liked Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. I thought she did really good Gwen Stacy. I didn't really know what to expect from her when I watched it, but I liked her a lot as the lead compared to Kirsten Dunst in the other Spider-Man movies. I thought she did a really good Gwen Stacy. Really likable character. And Dennis Leary is her dad. I think he was the chief of police. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I thought he, I didn't really know what to expect out of Dennis Leary, like, going into the movie. I didn't even know he was in it, and he did a really great job. Same with, Charlie Sheen. Martin Sheen as, Ben Parker, he also did a really great job, and I didn't also, like, I was kind of surprised that he was cast as Ben Parker, but, I thought he did a really good job. And I like that they also focused on, Ben Parker a lot more in this movie. In the first Spider-Man movie, he's kind of he dies really early, and you don't know much of him. In this movie, there's he's kind of a central character at first, and you get to know the character, and then it kind of makes it kind of gives you I don't know. I kind of am a loss for words for what to say, but it's just kind of cool to actually get to know Ben Parker for once in the movies. And story-wise, I thought it was great. I like my favorites of the movie are definitely the way they approached Spider-Man with him having to use the cartridges for the web. I like that they went that way with it, and then I really enjoyed Lizard, and I thought he made a great foe. And there's a couple parts. At one point in the end, he actually starts to wear the lab jacket, which was kind of a bonus for me. I actually love to see him wear that jacket, and it just kind of made the movie for me. It's kind of a small thing, but I like that they included it. And I love the movie, and probably I stuttered a lot during this. I don't know, maybe I did. Rambled at least. I thought it was a great movie. Tell me what you thought in the comments. If you liked it, didn't, or yeah, do that. That's it.